Hello, beautiful people. How are we today? We are talking about how to get out of your own way, even if you've tried all the mindset things. You've joined me, Nick Chung, soulful business coach and mentor, and I'm really stoked to talk about this today. So thank you to everyone who voted on today's Elevate Thursday. We are going to dive into this subject about how to get out of your own way, even if you've done all of the mindset things. Now, I love this topic because so many people, all of you, probably, if you're tuning in, this is for you. You've done so much mindset work. You've done so much personal development that you should be able to get out of your own way, except it's not happening, right? Even though you've done all of the things, you've done positive affirmations, you've looked at your limiting beliefs, you've looked at what your big blocks are for showing up, you're still not doing the thing, right? Am I right? And so now today, I want to give you two essential things that you need to be doing in order to get out of your own way, because you really need to. You really, really need to. Why? Because you have a soul's mission to complete. You have a soul's mission to fulfill on this earth, and you need to be able to get out of your own way so that you can create that for yourself, for your people, and to create a better planet and a better place to live in. So say hello as you join me. Aloha for those on Facebook. Hi. And for those on Instagram, thank you so much for joining me. And for those of you who are watching the replay, please let me know that you are here. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Hi, Robin. Beautiful to have you here. And as we go along today, if you have questions, let me know. And as per usual, if you're watching the replay, you can always pop your questions in and I come in and answer them, every single one, after I've gone live. So how to get out of your way, even if you tried all the mindset things. You're in the right place. If you have done affirmations, if you've looked at your limiting beliefs, if you've done like any work on fear, right? If you've done any kind of work on past lives or childhood trauma or all of those things, and you're like, I should be now very well equipped to be able to get out of my own way because I know all of the things that are stopping me from doing it, but I'm just not doing it, right? So if this is you, stick around and we're going to talk about the two things that you need to be able to do this, right? So as I said before, why do you want to do this? Because you're on a mission. You're on a mission. And this is one of the things that you can tap into to be able to get out of your own way, even if you've tried all of the things, right? So we're going to talk about two essential things that you need to be able to do this, to be able to get out of your own way, right? And they're not an exhaustive list, right? But I chose the two most prominent ones, the ones that I feel like get people really moving on, like in the direction of what they want to create. Okay. So we're going to talk about two essential things to be able to get out of your own way. Right. So enough of the fodder. Let us dive into what that is. The first one is this: follow your soul, i.e., expansive energy, not your ego, i.e., fear or limitations. Right. So let me dissect that a little bit more. So when I say follow soul, as I said before, part of how you follow soul is tapping back into your mission. Why are you here? Why have you developed your beautiful transformational program, work, business offer? Why? Why? Now, some people say this is your why. I call it your soul's mission because you guys are here on a soul's mission. You know this, right? So come back to your soul's mission. Feel it really strongly. And usually this can be, not usually, sometimes this is just enough to be able to get you out of your head, i.e. your ego, because remember where your ego resides in the mind, right? It's enough to get you out of your mind and go, you know what? I just need to go do the thing. I need to go take this action, right? So usually, I keep saying usually, but I'll say sometimes this is enough just to tap into what it is, the reason why you are here on this earth doing what you do, right? So follow your soul expansion, not your ego, the fear, the limits, right? Equally, we can use this in business to expand our business and get out of our own way when we start to really follow our soul's tugs, okay? So there are soul tugs and then there's the ego. And usually when we're following our soul's tugs, it's taking us in a direction which we've never ever tried before. It's scary, it's risky. We're not sure what's going to turn out. And it's in these moments that your ego will rear up and go, hang on a moment. We can't do that. Stop, right? And it'll feed you all sorts of very logical ideas of why you can't do the thing that you want to do, right? So instead of following what your ego says, which usually stops you in your tracks, you need to start following what your soul is suggesting for you to do, right? And this requires courage and bravery, right? Because there is often fear in doing the unknown, and fear is generated by your ego, and it's designed to keep you safe, and it's designed to keep you here. So it gives you more fear. It's like the bigger the decision is, the bigger the unknown is, the more the fear usually is, right? And so fear is really just your ego's way of going, hey, pay me attention and don't go there, don't do that thing. And you need to cultivate the courage and the bravery to be able to go, I feel the fear and I'm doing it anyway. I'm going towards what my soul is calling me to do. I'm stepping into the place of limitlessness and expansion. And I am not feeding into or playing the game of the ego that wants to keep me small and wants to keep me afraid, right? So is this making sense so far for you? Let me know how this is dropping in for you. This is one of the essential things that you need to be able to do. Follow your soul, not your ego. And you can do this two ways. One is to follow your soul's mission. Tap back into your soul's mission. And sometimes this is just enough to get yourself out of your own way because you're like, you know what? All of these little things that are saying in my mind are not as important as the soul's mission I am on. That is far more important than any of this little ego trip that I'm on. So I need to just shut up and go and do my thing, right? So sometimes that's enough. Other times we really need to ignite our courage and bravery to go forward on those soul tugs. So following your soul is also about following those soul tugs, right? And your ego will usually rear up when it is something big, when it is something scary. When you're taking a bigger leap, usually your ego likes to also take a bigger leap and get more noisy, right? It is in these moments that you need to cultivate and act upon your courage and bravery to be able to step into your soul tugs more and more and more. And this is how you get out of your own way, right? Even though you've tried all the mindset things, because this is the truth, right? You do not need to have a really secure, awesome mindset to go and do the thing, right? How many times have you had a really crappy mindset, like a mindset that's saying, I can't do it, and you've gone and done the thing anyway? Recall one of those moments, because this is the truth. You do not need to get your mindset on board saying, yes, you can do it. Of course, you're going to be amazing, blah, 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 blah. You don't need that to be able to move forward. So this is a really essential thing to understand of how to get out of your own way, even though you've tried all the mindset things. Don't worry about the mind. Bypass the mind and follow your soul. Bypass the ego and follow your soul. Right. What is landing for you? That is one of the essential things that you need to be able to do to be able to get out of your own way, despite all of the mindset stuff. Yes, it makes perfect sense. Robin, awesome. Aloha for everyone else who's joining me on Facebook. Hi for those on Instagram. Welcome to those on the replay. So that is one of the things. Follow your soul. Follow your expansion, not your fear or your limitations. And the last essential thing that you really, really need to do is this. You need to really take action. Okay. Makes sense, right? So just as I said before, you don't need your mindset to be all on board and being like, you can do this, in order for you to take action. This is what is called the law of action, right? Your body is, your physical body is literally able to go and do action despite what your head is saying, right? And so many people make this mistake. They think that if their head is saying something, that they can't possibly do it. Yes, you can. It is physically possible for you to be able to go and take action, i.e. use your physical body to do something about your situation, right? So when I put it in a business context, it's like your body can literally type out a post that is really scary, that might be like full of things that people might judge you about. You're able to do that, and you're able to press enter so that you can post it online. That is the power of your body. That is the law of action. You are able to take action despite what your head says, right? So one of the essential things that you need to be able to do to get out of your own way, even if you have tried all the mindset things and the mindset things are not working, is just to go forward and take action, right? Despite what your mind is saying. So, why is it that you might not be able to do these two things, right? Well, firstly, when we talk about the soul, and following your soul and not your ego. A lot of people get really confused as to what that is exactly. There is so much misinformation about what the soul is and what the ego is and how to follow them and how to hear them and all those sorts of things. Now, we're not going to go into how to do that because it is very individual to you. It's something that I actually dive into in the Limitless Academy, which is my 12-month immersion. So we go into more depth to as to how to listen to yourself to know how your soul speaks. But I just want you to know that if you're not able to do this right now, it's not your fault. It's because you're probably listened to so many different people about how your soul speaks to you. Yeah. What your ego is, why you should be working on your mindset, all of that stuff, which is actually rubbish. You do not, and I keep saying this and I will keep saying it till I am dead. You do not need to have your mindset all in place in order for you to get out of your own way and do the things that you need to do to be able to create the life and the business that you desire and dream of, right? You do not have to have your mindset absolutely perfect, right? You do not need to be fearless, i.e., have no fear to be able to go and do what you need to do. So, one of the things that may trip you up and when you're trying to follow your soul and not follow the fear and stuff is some of these stories that you've been fed that, I'm not able to get out of my own way because I still have fear. I should be fearless when I do my thing. That is just not true. That is just not true, right? And you need to be able to really decipher what is a soul tug, what is a soul yes, and a soul no versus an ego no and an ego yes. Okay. I.e., what is a soul desire and what is an ego desire? How does your soul speak and how does your ego speak? So, this is one of the reasons why you might not be able to do, say, following your soul and not your ego, which is one of the essential things that you need to be able to do to get out of your own way. Yeah. You might not be able to do that because you're just not familiar with the sound, the voice, the communication vehicle of your soul, right? And as I said, we're not going to go into how to do that just yet. This is something we do in the Limitless Academy, which is my 12-month immersion for holistic business owners, leaders, and change makers who want to really step into their limitless expansion. So, but just know that that is something you need to work on. You need to work on how to understand what your soul tugs are versus what an ego tugs. You need to be so vigilant about hearing when it is the voice of your ego versus hearing when it is the voice of the soul. And this comes with practice, right? So whatever way that you decide to create that or discover that, go and do that thing. And if you want more of that with me, if you want to learn more from me about that, then you can come and join the Limitless Academy, right? But we're not going to go into that detail today. Now, why else might you not be able to do these things in terms of the action, right? Remember, the action is the second essential thing that you need to be able to do to get out of your own way. And as I said before, action can happen despite your mindset, right? You can physically take action despite what your mind is saying. That is the law of action. You have a physical body that can physically go and do stuff, right? So, why might you not be able to do these things? Again, when it comes to the action part, it might be because of the things that you have unconsciously picked up around action taking and energy. So, for example, one of my clients this week talked about how she's not able to post because it felt like she was pushing it. And therefore, if she was pushing it, therefore her energy would be off. And so, if the energy's off, then it's not going to manifest. Logically, this kind of makes sense, right? And you may have heard it. And I've actually said this and I've changed my tune on it, right? So, apologies for those who heard that from me. I have changed my tune on this because this is the truth. And this is usually the truth for things like posting when you don't feel like posting, right? I've actually had 3 conversations about this week, so I think it's pretty relevant, right? When it comes to this, it's usually not that your energy will be off, it's that your ego feels really challenged. Okay. Your ego is challenged because you are doing something out of habit. That is, you're doing something which is not in alignment to what you usually do. Okay. So you're doing something that goes against what you habitually do. You're doing something that is that is in the unknown, in the realm of the unknown. And so your ego feeds you this very sneaky idea that, oh, well, if you're going to push it, the energy is going to be off, so you probably shouldn't do it. What does that do? That allows you to do the same thing over and over again, which keeps the ego exactly in the same place, which makes it feel safe. Can you see how that works? So usually in this case, it is not about your energy being off, because your energy is on. If you are aligned to what you're doing, if your soul is speaking through you, if you're like, I know I need to post this thing, it's not the action step itself when it feels like it's forced, is not going to change the energy. It is simply challenging the ego, right? And the ego feeds you a really convenient story of, well, this will change your energy. And if you change your energy, it's not going to work, right? You've got to feel really, really good in order for you to be able to manifest it. This is not the truth. So why might not you be able to take the action? You think that the energy will be off if you're trying to push it. It's not true. Energy and mindset are different. Mindset exists in the realm of the ego. Yeah, mindset exists in the realm of the ego. Energy exists in the realm of the soul, the limitless part of you. Yeah, so do not confuse the two. Your mindset does not need to be on board in order for you to get out of your own way, in order for you to take action, in order for you to follow your soul. Yeah. And again, we're not going to dive in too much about how to do this so much, but this is something that I do with my Limitless Academy, which are taking in new members in August. So let me have a look. Yes, you're so right, Robin. Yes, Facebook user. Okay, great. Any other questions before we jump off today? Because I know it's a short one, but hopefully an effective one. So today we talked about how to get out of your own way, even if you've tried all the mindset things. Two of the essential things that you need to be able to do is follow your soul, not your ego, and you need to take action. Now, some of the things that might block you on this is that if you're not aware of how your soul speaks versus your ego, you're going to have real trouble following your soul and not your ego, right? And most people I see here, they get themselves in this trap of like following the ego, thinking it's their soul. It's not. It's your sneaky little ego keeping you just in the same place, right? So that is one of the reasons why you might not be able to follow your soul, is that you don't know your soul's language. As I said, we're not going to talk about this on this live today. This is something that we do more in the Limitless Academy, which is my 12-month holistic business coaching program. And also the second thing that we talked about is that you need to be able to do to get out of your own way is to take action. You can take action despite what your mindset says. Now, one of the reasons why you might not be able to do this is because you've listened to a story that, when you take action that doesn't feel good, or you don't feel like doing it, it's out of alignment. It's not out of alignment. It's just challenging your ego, right? So what else other comments have we got in here? Good clarity. Great. You are welcome. So if this has been awesome for you and you feel like you want to dive deeper in with me, as I said, we do dive into deeper things of this nature in the Limitless Academy. We talk about how to follow your soul and what that actually means, right? Because we're not going to talk about that here, because this is a conversation we have over the whole year. It's a year immersion in the Limitless Academy. If you want to know how to follow your soul more, if you want to know the language of your soul, if you want to know how to get out of your own way and take action that feels really, really, that starts to feel really good, and you want to have the support of someone who has been there, done that, that's me, and the support of a community who are always gunning for your limitlessness, not your limits, your limitlessness, then you must come and join us in the Limitless Academy. Our August intake has actually opened right now, and I have some really awesome bonuses that are going along with this. It's about over $1,000 worth of bonuses are for free if you join up in May, which will mean that you also get a really cool extended 15-month payment plan to make it a little bit easier to invest. So if this sounds fun to you, if you want to jump on board with me in the Limitless Academy and all of the other lovely people in that group, send me a private message and let's just see where you're at with your business and if this is a good move. And if it is, we can jump on a call and just get a little bit more clarity and double make sure that this is something that you want to dive into. All right, lovelies, no more questions. Yes, exactly. Mindset exists in the realm of the ego. Of course it does. Robin, you're so welcome. Of course it does. I'm glad that I enlightened you on that part. Alrighty, I look forward to all of your questions. I look forward to your ahas. Let me know what the biggest takeaway was for you today on Elevate Thursday. Again, if you want to dive deeper into knowing the language of your soul, how to follow your soul, how to be more fearless, because we're not exactly always fearless, but more fearless in your decision making, and expand and accelerate your limitlessness, then come and send me a DM and let's book you in a clarity call to join the Limitless Academy for our August intake. Awesome. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will catch you soon. Bye. Mwah.